Smoking is Scotland's biggest preventable killer. It accounts for more than 13,000 deaths every year. This pill is supposed to take the pain out of kicking the smoking habit. But did it drive this woman to try killing herself?
I just felt angry at the world. That's the only way I can explain it.
Can an anti-smoking drug really lead to suicide?
He slashed his wrists. They found him on the floor in the landing, and it was a shocking scene.
Did this small pill really provoke an armed standoff?
I think there were 9 officers there, and 2 of them had rifles trained on my head. Those guys would not have missed.
It's good at helping people stop smoking, but just how safe is Champix? You may have heard of Champix. It's an anti-smoking drug relatively new on the market, and it's more effective than any other remedy at helping people stop smoking. Its makers, Pfizer, say it's been prescribed to more than 6 million people around the world. But it's a drug dogged by bad publicity. For more than a year now, stories have been emerging linking Champix to depression, psychotic behaviour and suicide. Pfizer is a global company, Champix is a global drug, and this is a global story. More importantly, with a third of people here smoking, it's also a Scottish one. So my investigation began by the River Clyde. Robert and Karen McGee have 3 children and live in Greenock. Both have smoked for most of their lives.
I started when I was 12-year-old. I started in the school, obviously, with your wee friends and all that, and they're smoking, so you say, right, I'll try it as well. So I tried it, and I liked it, and I just kept smoking ever since. And as the years went on, I've crept up and up and up. The most I've taken 70 in one day. I'm a chain smoker. Just keep lighting up one after another, and I can't stop it.
I only smoke about 15 to 20 cigarettes a day.
And the least you smoked in a day is maybe about 3, isn't it?
Aye.
I mean, she can go without a cigarette, you know what I mean? I mean, what am I like when I've not got them? I climb the wall, do you know what I mean? I mean, I give my right arm to go and get them, do you know what I mean? Just to get a cigarette.
Like many smokers, they've tried every way to kick the habit.
Everything I've tried, man, works. I don't know why.
Because he's getting willpower.
That's exactly what it is. I've got a wife and 3 kids.
Last autumn, aged 46, Robert McGee became another Scottish smoking statistic when he collapsed with a heart attack. A casual remark by his surgeon was to change his family forever.
One of the surgeons that was there says to me, she says, listen, I've heard of a drug called Champix.
This wonder drug?
This wonder drug, aye. That people in America was taking, that's what it was, and they were stopping smoking. And says to me, why don't I ask my GP and see if he would, prescribe me the drug?
So I thought, right, great, we'll go down to the doctor. We'll ask the doctor, can both of us get it? And that's what we did.
This is the drug the McGees were told about. Champix works by blocking nicotine from getting to the brain while mimicking its good effects. The smoker doesn't get any cravings and in fact loses the urge to smoke. It didn't work for Robert McGee. He kept smoking. His wife Karen did quit. But her personality began to change. Despite a history of depression, she'd felt nothing like this before.
But even when I was vomiting, when my moods was changing, I wasn't really too bothered until it got to the stage where, which I can only describe now, Sam, is that I was a mad woman.
Totally unbearable to live with, by the way. Even the kids, they were screaming at the kids, and they weren't really doing nothing, do you know what I mean? She just snapping, but I mean like violently
Family,
snapping.
friends, anybody that came into the house.
Surely that could have been the nicotine withdrawal, though.
No, this was totally different because...
We've had nicotine withdrawal before.
We've had everything else, no, we had the Zyban, we had the patches, tried the patches, and there was nothing like that. And she stopped smoking, you know what I mean, and never had a mood like that. So I mean, this was just like a crazy woman when she took the Champix, you know what I mean?
I just felt angry at the world. That's the only way I can explain it. Just angry. Just an angry feeling inside me.
She remembers nothing, but 3 weeks into taking Champix, Karen McGee woke in the middle of the night, walked downstairs and hanged herself.
I just got woke up with my daughter dragging me out my bed to come down the stairs shouting, "Dad, my mum's hung herself, she's hung herself." And I couldn't comprehend this time because I thought it was a dream. So I ran down the stairs anyway, and when I got to the bottom of the stairs, Cam was like kind of on the floor in their knees with this helmet around her neck. So I tried to lift her. I'm trying to lift her up to try and free the knot in that. I couldn't get her lifted. I couldn't get this knot loosened. I then says to Jen, "Jenna, quick, get me a knife in, get me a knife." So she brought me a knife, and then I managed to cut her free, you know, quite quickly, and take the noose off her neck.
Karen McGee survived, but is convinced her actions were caused by taking Champix. She and her husband desperately wanted to stop smoking, and they're not alone. Champix was launched in Britain in December 2006 and has been prescribed to more than 360,000 smokers here. Scotland has the highest number of smoking-related deaths in the world, more than 13,000 a year. Almost 1.5 million people in Scotland smoke, and that alone puts a huge strain on our hospitals and our healthcare. So anything which is going to bring this number down is to be welcomed, and that includes drugs like Champix. Karen McGee isn't the only one who says there's a problem with Champix. Omar Jama had also been a heavy smoker. Desperate to stop, he too was prescribed Champix. And, like Karen, he also tried to kill himself. But, unlike Karen, he succeeded.
He slashed his wrists. Found him on the floor in the landing. And it was a shocking scene. And, of course, everything was shocking. So from then on, it's been a devastating time.
Was there a note?
No suicide note. It was just a random act, completely out of character, that took an instant.
Did he have a history of anything like this?
No, not at all. Not at all. He was an optimistic person. He's no history of depression. He was never down. Was never visibly upset for long about anything. It's all cliche, but everybody felt like he was their best friend. And you know, they miss him dearly still.
Omar's family and friends struggled to understand why he would take his life. Then, a family friend mentioned something which had been bothering him.
He said, "Ali, I'm sure it had something to do with those tablets he was taking." I said, "What tablets?" And he said, "The tablets to help him stop smoking." He didn't know the brand he didn't give me the brand at the time, or I didn't pay attention. But he said those tablets he took for stopping smoking. He said because my girlfriend had taken them, and she'd suffered serious mood swings.